I'm a baseball fan, and one of my favorite players for the Astros last season, Jose Altuve, hit 310. That's like Hall of Fame stuff. Well, Dr. Peter McCullough is batting 1,000. He's never made an out in life as far as doctoring is concerned. This guy's got everything right. He nailed everything. He's been deplatformed. He's been criticized. He's been thrown out. They tried to take his license away. And then he said, the hell with you all. I'm going to start the wellness company and do it my own way. The guy's been right about everything, and he's joining us now. Dr. McCullough, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Dr. McCullough, there should be a statue up. They got to make a statue of you, because I remember, a lot of people remember this, but like, you were one of the first ones to come on my show during COVID, when the first outbreak, when we all believed that, we should go to a herd immunity, and, you were just railing against the whole thing. You said where it was from. You said it came in a lab. You said the vaccines, the mRNA thing would be a disaster. The masks didn't work. The social distancing was made up. I'd get out of a meeting with Dr. Birx, and you would come on and you just dispute it all. And you were right about everything. So thanks for being with us. So let's start with your insights into the RFK Jr. hearings last week, sir. What were your thoughts?
Boy, was corruption exposed at those hearings. I don't think those senators thought that a confirmation hearing could backfire on them to the extent they did. And, Kennedy let it happen. He let Sanders and Hassan and others attack him. And then he waited, and then he lowered the boom when he said, you've taken all this money from pharmaceutical companies and exposed the corruption. The senators were basically making their soundbite talking points to satisfy the biopharmaceutical complex lobbyists. Then they went on to attack Kennedy. And you know what? The public saw right through it.
That was it. I thought it was interesting how you outlined that. I really hadn't thought of it that way. He just kind of waited until they spilled it all. And then the exchange with Bernie Sanders, when he was pointing his finger, trying to filibuster, no. And Kennedy is like, yeah, you did. I got it right here. You took $2.4 million. No, that was from somebody else. He's like, no, I got the computer printout, sir, right here. It's all online. You took $2.4 million, more than anybody. Right. Unbelievable. How'd you think overall? I think he's going to get confirmed, Dr. McCullough. What about you?
Yeah, well, the senators, it's not their vote. People think, wow, they could decide Kennedy's future. No, they have watchers. They have people reporting back to them. It's about public sentiment. And the room was packed. People were waiting in line to get a room. Since when did people wait in line to get into the room for Alex Azar or Xavier Becerra? No, these guys were, administrators. Kennedy really has captured a particular sentiment in the United States, and it's young mothers, it's people concerned about the future. And, the senators came off unhinged outside of Roger Marshall and Ron Johnson, who were very reasonable. They entered reasonable documents. And many senators like Bernie Sanders, they made fools out of themselves, particularly Sanders when he got to the onesies. I don't know if you saw that, John. He was basically unhinged.
It was a sight. It was a sight to see. And because they got caught. Now, I just want you to comment on this. What is the level you think of, let's call it, not sure the word is corruption. What is the level of compromise? That's a more accurate word. What is the level of compromise Congress by Big Pharma?
It's huge. You saw Maggie Hassan, for instance. She had 40 papers, and she was literally screaming, "Vaccines are safe. They're safe." And she's holding listen, if they were safe, we wouldn't be at this kind of emotional edge of things. We should be more fair and say, listen, the compound safety, or the safety of giving all the shots together at once in little babies, that hasn't been sufficiently studied. Let's study it. Let's learn it. And that all became exposed. I think Kennedy is now going to be installed, and we're going to start to see the ship level out here. But I thought the hearings were quite, they were quite insightful for the public to see the level of influence. And you're right, the compromise on the part of the senators and the big influence here. Remember, Scott Gottlieb, former FDA commissioner, told the public he was going to lobby the senators one by one against Kennedy.
Well, it kind of blew up in their face. I thought RFK did a very, very fine job. I was kind of riveted with that. Was the one Hegseth. I watched that, Gabbard a little bit of it, but the Kennedy, like, I couldn't get enough of it. It was just, I just love the guy, the way he just goes back to them, and he's got the facts. This mRNA vaccine, why is it being pushed on us to such a degree now?
There was a paper by Lalani in British Medical Journal saying that governments had invested billions of dollars in this. There's about 15 companies now. They're decades into it. They've been desperate to try to produce products. The technology can't be controlled. Looks like it targets the heart. It's all going to cause heart damage. And one of the missteps for the Trump administration is to have Larry Ellison get out there and say AI was going to jump to a messenger RNA vaccine for cancer. That was a mistake. We should have been much more tempered on AI in medicine.
Dr. McCullough, you have founded the wellness company, which I am a big believer in. I've got my medical emergency kit here. I never leave. I'm traveling this week. Mm-hmm. Got one at home for Ann. Joe's got one, and I've got mine. I never leave home without it. I've replenished it 3 times. You guys call it the medical emergency kit, but it's really not emergency. It's like a medical convenience,
right?
Medical convenience kit. Like the other day, Ann was sick with the flu, and normally you wait a couple of days. I mean, she jumped on this immediately. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was COVID. She didn't even take the test. She took ivermectin. She took what was in here. She was over it in a day because she got it immediately. She didn't have to go to the doctor and wait for 3 days to get an antibiotic. Everything was already here. We got a lot of things coming up now. What would you recommend our listeners and viewers? I'm a big believer in it. Go to twc.health/Godzilla. Put it on the screen there, Tyler. twc.health/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla, 10% off. But talk to our audience a little bit why these are so essential for every family to have.
Well, like John, it's just the vignette you gave. You can't treat fast enough when you see a doctor and go to urgent care, wait for a clinic visit. If you start immediately and people can figure out their diagnoses readily, that kit that you have, the kind of all-purpose Aqua kit, is a wonderful starter. Now we have the field kit, which comes in a big plastic box. Your family's so active and you've used it so many times, you may want to go to the field kit. We have that at home. And that has really been a big step up. People have busy households, things happen. And you're right. There's no better way to handle medical problems nowadays than a wellness company emergency medical kit.
And you do it immediately. That's the whole thing. And it was Dr. Kelly Victory that really convinced me of this, one of my doctors I use online with your company. And she says, if you wait like a day or 2 days because you got to go to a doc in a box or you can't see your doctor or whatever you're doing, or you wait online, she said, every day that you wait, it gets a little bit worse and it's going to take longer to get better. If you're able to address your issue immediately, then that's really going to make a difference. And that's what I've seen in my family. And you can see again, folks, I have it here. I've been using this now for a 2-year period. We've replenished this 3 times. I've used it in 15 times. So is my son. So is Ann. We are just big believers. It's kind of the new way to do medicine. And you get ivermectin, you get hydroxychloroquine, you get antibiotics, you get pain medicine, you get all the things. If you get something happens, you get a spider bite, everything is there right at your fingertips and you just travel with it. So it's peace of mind, but also it works. That's the other thing. So all you have to do, folks, is go to twc.health/Godzilla. That's the wellness company. twc.health/Godzilla, promo code Godzilla, and you're going to get 10% off. Peter, I'm going to give you the final word here. Just a final word on your company and how important this is. And I got about 20 seconds.
John, I would say we all should make a New Year's resolution. No ER visits, no urgent care visits. Let's try not to get sick at all. Use everything we have available at the wellness company. We can do it together.
twc.health/Godzilla. Dr. McCullough, thanks for being with us.